And there was a moment where I was playing defense against Cade, and he went to the hole, and I got elbowed in the face, like the first possession.
Flagrant elbow.
So that was, a welcome to NBA moment.
What's up, Piston fans? It's your boy Flagrant Elbow back with another one. The Detroit Pistons lose to the Pheonix Suns. A lot of good takeaways you can take from this game. It's almost getting to the point to where every game the Pistons are in, we really feel like they got a good chance to win this game, whether we got fully staffed or not. So we're going to talk about some of the things that went on with this game and how the Detroit Pistons lost this game and some of the good points that we can take out of it. I want to thank everybody for checking out the channel. I think we're at 629 subscribers. Appreciate that. Appreciate all the support. And also at the same time, don't forget to check out the merch link in the description. I will receive a commission for anything purchased, but anything purchased does help support the channel. So check out the link in the description. Get you a sweater, get you a shirt, get you a hat. It all helps support the channel. But I appreciate you just clicking in and listening at the same time. If you're a newcomer, hit the subscribe button. Join the community that we're building here. Very nice, cool, respectful community. And we love the Pistons. We love watching the Pistons play ball. And we love the Piston game. So if that's you, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and join this community. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into this video. Detroit Pistons lost this game. It was a close game throughout. And it was one of those games, if you watched it through the whole 4 quarters, you felt that the Pistons had a good chance to win this game. It was one of those games. They led for the majority of the game, and it was a game where you felt like the Pistons had control. On the road, just won 2 games on the road, West Coast trip, but this was a game where you watched the Pistons play, and you really felt like they had a good chance to win this game. If you watch the game all the way to the 5th minute mark at the 4th quarter, you really felt that the Pistons had a good chance to win this game. And this is against the West Coast best team statistically. Pheonix Suns were 12-5 before this game. And actually on their home court, they were 9-1. It was no reason in the world the Detroit Pistons were supposed to come into this game down 4 starters. Ivy didn't play tonight. Down 4 starters. and give these guys a run for their money the way they did on their home court. It was no way in the world that the Detroit Pistons, this young, scrappy team, was supposed to do that. But guess what? That's what happened. The Detroit Pistons came in there with that grit. They came in there scrapping, and they pretty much led the entire game. Killian Hayes did his thing. Statistically, he scored, and he was locked in defensively. Pistons had their hands full, of course, with Devin Booker, but also with DeAndre Ayton. Had their hands full, but that's the way it goes, right? You playing the Pheonix Suns, and you can look to have your hands full when you playing these guys. So that is the way the game goes. But the Detroit Pistons got in there, turned up, showed out. Pistons did a good job, and my hat goes off to them. Excuse me. So there are a lot of good things that I can take away from this game, even though the Pistons lost. They lost by 6 points to arguably the best team in the West Coast right now, statistically. And I'm not sad about that. This is a game where, with 4 starters out, you look to get blew out. But that didn't happen. That grit, that defensive intensity, that scrappiness, that paid off. And I always say and believe that if you come with that grit, that defensive intensity, you have a chance to win whether your shots are falling or not. And the Pistons' shots weren't falling. They were doing a lot of settling. So when I look at the game, statistically, you look at what the Pistons did, and 3-point wise, they only shot 34% from the three, 9 for 26. Free throw wise, usually we've been killing the league in free throw attempts. We only shot 16 attempts at the free throw line. We made 15 of them, so they shot 93%, but they only shot 16 free throws. What does that mean? That means a lot of jump shots were going on. And those jump shots don't necessarily get you to the free throw line. They don't necessarily get the other team in foul trouble. So getting free throw attempts tell a lot about the game and as far as what you're doing offensively. Rebounds 49-43. Pistons won that. Assists 21-25. Pheonix won that. Pistons had 6 steals, 6-7, and only 3 blocks to Pheonix's 7 blocks. The blocks we had, 3 of them were timely. They were timely blocks, but it just wasn't enough to get things going to give us that win. Pistons had 19 turnovers. Now, that's understandable. You got 4 starters out. You got some players in the starting rotation that necessarily weren't in the start, aren't starters normally. So you can expect turnovers to be a factor. But that's how it happened. Fast break points, the Pistons won that 11-2. And points in the paint. Points in the paint. The Pistons had 50 points in the paint, but Pheonix had 64. That shows you that Pistons were settling for a lot of jump shots and 3-pointers that didn't necessarily go, and I think that's what hurt the team. But like I said, you can't ask for better than this. A 6-point loss to arguably the best team in the West right now statistically, the Pheonix Suns, and 9-1 on their own court. 9 games and 1 loss on their home court. And the Detroit Pistons come in there with 4 starters out and only lose by 6. This game went to the wire. And actually, Pheonix averages about 115, and the Pistons held them to 108. With the starters out. Let that sink in. That tells you a couple things. Maybe our starters aren't as good as we think and hope they are. But at the same time, we recognize that our team is deep. This is a deep Detroit Pistons team. And when the chemistry continues to get built up and everybody's clicking like they seem to be clicking now, it might be trouble for the league when the starters get back. Because they watching these games and they seeing what's happening. These are games that they probably would have got blew out in. Probably so. But you mean to tell me that the bench players are coming in there and keeping teams in check? The bench players are coming in there and scoring 53 points some nights. More than that some nights. So the Detroit Pistons, they have a lot to be happy about, even though this was a loss. But moving forward, it's not that bad. Not when you're looking at this as arguably the best team in the West Coast. East Coast is a lot tougher, in my opinion, right now. But here's a notable in the game. Bojan went down with an injury. Guy stepped on his ankle, and he was attempting to make a move, and he kind of tweaked his knee. So we got to see what's going on with that. Surprisingly, the refs didn't give him a call. I don't understand how that didn't happen. But, like I said, the Pistons weren't aggressive. If you're not aggressive, the refs don't have any support for you, especially with a team like the Pistons. But only 16 free throw attempts, and we've been pretty much leading the league in free throw attempts. Quit settling for mid-range jumpers, forced, and quit settling for 3-point jumpers if they're not falling. go in there and get busy in that paint. So hopefully Bojan's injury isn't too serious. Definitely don't want him to be out too long. Diallo was a person that kept doing his best, and could not get a whistle. Diallo could not get a whistle. Diallo, he was trying his best. He got 2 free throw attempts, scored 10 points for the game, got 6 boards, 1 assist, but he couldn't get a whistle. He got fouled a number of times. And we look at the other players as far as getting free throw attempts out of the starters as a group collectively only shot 2 free throws. Killian Hayes. Everybody else, 0 free throws. Bogey had 21 shot attempts and 0 free throws. Killian Hayes had 18 shot attempts and only 2 free throws. Bagley, 12 shot attempts, 0 free throws. Livers, 7 shot attempts, 0 free throws. Magruder, 7 shot attempts, 0 free throws. So you gotta do what you gotta do as far as getting to the basket. Now, the bench brigade gets in there. Duran had 4 free throw attempts. Burks had 8 free throw attempts. Diallo had 2. A lot more than the starters, right? Well, when you look at the plus and minus, guess where the plus and minuses were all at from the bench players? The starters were negatives. Negatives. Compared to minutes played, points scored during those minutes, negatives. Negatives. Sometimes free throws are good, but don't just live out there. Try to your best to get to the free throw line. Make something happen offensively for the team. So, like I said, 16 free throw attempts is not going to be enough to win any game against any team in the NBA, especially when your 4 starters out, but especially when you're playing against one of the top teams in the conference. It's not going to happen. So this was a game I can't complain too much about because, like I said, you got 4 starters out. That's tough. I just think that with all of those things, a lazy pass has crept into there again to this game. A lot of lazy passes led to the turnovers. Us having 19 turnovers. But the chemistry is when you got that many starters out, it's gonna be an issue, and that's what happened with this game. So, not too upset with it from that standpoint, but to see that the Pistons, regardless of this chaotic situation with 4 starters out like this, were able to keep the game within 6, and the game went down to the wire against the Pheonix Suns with the record that they have. I'm pleased, and that means that if the starters all get back, it's going to be some trouble for the league if they can continue the momentum. If the coaches can get in there and manage the team well, minute-wise, it's going to be some trouble for the league. Because you think about this, a game like this where the starters were out with injuries, and you got bench players coming in there playing different roles. Well, it still was a game that was winnable. It was still winnable. And I can't complain off that. Noel even got out there and played 2 minutes. I think Corey Joseph only played 6 minutes. So this shows you that Corey doesn't need to be playing that much necessarily all the time. But the bottom line is that the bench, this team is deep. The Pistons team is deep. And they just have to be coached the right way. Everybody needs to have the right minutes to support the team in the direction they're going, move the ball around, continue to stay scrappy, continue to build, and have defensive intensity. You can always win games when you have that. So this is a good game. We hate to see Bogey go down with an injury like that, but this was a good game. Bagley came out there and he did a lot. I enjoy watching Bagley play. Getting those, he only got 13 points, but he got 12 rebounds, so he got a double-double, a block, a steal, and he just stayed active. And you just appreciate seeing that because Bagley's one of those guys that in the paint, if he's going to be active like that, then hey, you keep him out there. He's going to help the team continue to win and do all of that, but you keep him out there. He had his hands full today with Aiden, but Aiden only got a few more rebounds than him. You see, they both got 12 rebounds altogether. But Aiden did score 28 points. He did score 28 points, so I'm not too mad about that. But the thing about it is that as a whole, the Detroit Pistons, they got to continue to move that ball, continue to get healthy, and they got to continue to be aggressive on the offensive end, attacking the basket. Quit settling for so many jump shots and threes and jump shot contested mid-range jumpers, and try your best to get to the free throw line. The refs didn't help them, but I think that the refs, anyway, I just think that the team just need to be aggressive. Even though they were, my hat goes off to them, and I'm not faulting anyone. They did seem to be aggressive tonight, especially Hamidou Diallo. He was getting fouled a lot. So just continue to be aggressive, get to the basket, and to only lose by 6 points to the Pheonix Suns, that's good. No hard feelings, no hard thoughts. Want to hope that Bogey is not injured too tough, that he can get back out there. Beef Stew has been doing some things with the affiliate team, and hopefully that means he'll be back a lot sooner. I want to see Sadiq get back sooner. Want to see Ivy get back out there. So it's a lot going on with the team, but hopefully if they can all get focused and lock in, then we can have that core back, and that core can come back better than ever. Locked in and understanding what needs to be done when they do get out there. So that's what happened with the Pistons today. As far as stat-wise, individually for the team, Marvin Bagley had 13 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Bojan, 19 points before he left out of there. He had 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Killer Hayes with a solid performance, 17 points, 8 boards, 9 assists, and 3 steals. He did everything you wanted him to do. Almost had a triple-double. Everything you wanted him to do. Uncle Rodney Magruder out there for 20 minutes. He got 3 boards. He got 6 rebounds and 2 assists, 8 points. Uncle Roddy got out there and did his thing, man. Coming off the bench, called up to fill in for Jaden Ivey. Can't beat that. Kevin Knox, he had a lower point game, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. So he was still out there active. He only shot the ball 7 times, but he still was active, doing other things. 1 assist, 1 steal, and 2 blocks, and 4 boards. So I liked him being out there. Noteworthy also was Burks. Burks had 17 points. He was out there 18 minutes, 8 free throws. 18 minutes of activity, 8 free throws, 17 points. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, but that's what I'm talking about. 17 points out there for 18 minutes. He only shot 4 of 12, but he got 8 free throws. He did have 3 turnovers, and that's uncommon for him from what I've seen. Hopefully that'll clear up, but you still like to see that. Hamidou Diallo got 10 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. He had 5 turnovers. That killed the team too. So a lot of the things that went on with the team today were uncharacteristic from a certain standpoint, but I did notice that a lot of lazy passes crept back into the ball plan for this squad, for the Pistons. So hopefully they'll clear that up, and I'm sure they will. But I know they're glad to be done with the West Coast trip. I'm glad. Tired of staying up this late to watch a game. But anyway, that's what happened with the Pistons today. They lost by 6 to the Pheonix Suns. Their record right now is 5-16 with 2 out of 11 away. So that's what happened with the Pistons. everybody, I hope you appreciated the game, appreciated the content today for the video. If you got something that I didn't talk about that you'd like to discuss, hit it in the comments, man. Hit it in the comments. I appreciate all your comments. Make sure they're all being respectful. And we want to build a decent community here where that's how we're doing things. Also, don't forget to check out the description for your merch link to get your merch. Don't forget, anything purchased will help support the channel, as I will receive a commission off of that. So thank you all for your continued support. 629 subscribers. I thank all of y'all for that. With that being said, stay safe.